thought-provoking keynote on multi-generational workforces, inclusion, and the new workplace dynamic. So learn from Caroline Stebbings from building cohesive teams and thrive across generations. So I call upon Caroline Stebbings to the stage, please. All right. So there is a 2 minutes delay with the technical issue, but then we are waiting for our amazing speaker to join us. So yes, we have Caroline Stebbings to insight us with how do we build cohesive teams and that thrives across generations. So give it up for Caroline Stebbings. Thank you.
All right, okay. I've got this. Assuming it works. Can everybody hear me? Oh, it does work. Having listened to the panel before, I feel very humbled to be up here. Okay. So, whoops. Oh, technology's not my friend today. No, I'm fine. It's okay. I don't get panicked by these things. We nearly didn't make it today and I still wasn't panicked. I'll just lay it down. There we go. Right, where are we? Right. Hello, everybody. I'm so pleased to see you all this afternoon. I'm Caroline Stebbings. Does that sound okay? It sounds like it's resonating too much. Okay. I'm Caroline Stebbings, Chief Operating Officer for OPMG in the UK. But more than that, I'm humbled to say that I'm also the Inclusion Officer for OPMG across Europe, India, and APAC. OPMG is a technology and database business where we look to take data and technology to build at scale for our clients. With both global and, sorry, I'm going to take my glasses off. With both global clients and global colleagues, we really need to connect culturally on every level. Let me ask you a few questions. I'm going to ask you to raise your hand every time I ask you something that means something to you. So, how many of you are a sister? How many of you are a mother? How many of you are independent thinkers? Great, that's what I like to see. How many of you are leaders? And that means you can be a leader even if it's a project. It doesn't have to be a department or a team. It can just be a project. No one only put their hand up once. After all, I'm not just a senior leader. I'm a sister. I'm a single mother of 14-year-old twin boys. I don't have the right accent. I was telling someone earlier on, in one of the first jobs I did in marketing services, the deputy MD wasn't going to give me the job because I came from an uneducated background with the wrong accent that said I didn't go to private school. He didn't think that I could do the job. Over the years, people have said that they didn't think that I would go as far as I have. But it's an inner desire to want to do well and realize my dreams that's got me here today. This year, I turned 60. My boys tell me not to be defined by a number because it is, after all, just a number. So whilst my topic today is one that looks at multi-generational element of our workspaces, it's broadly about the fact that not any of us is just one thing. I'll be exploring how inclusion across age groups can not only bridge generational groups, but leverage the diverse perspectives that multi-generational workforces can bring to innovation, collaboration, and community. So let's look at some definitions. As we gather in this dynamic space, it's essential to acknowledge the richness and the beauty that each and every one of you brings to a workplace. Be that virtual or in real life. Be that because you work for a corporate or you work in a startup and it's round a kitchen table. Be that a factory floor or a hospitality space. Virtual global collaboration or one-to-one in the workplace. But let's take a moment to think about what is multi-generation. I know I'm not alone when I say I've known teenagers that have had wiser heads on their shoulders, almost like they've lived here before. I've met octogenarians that have always been tech-savvy and wanted the latest iPhone. Equally, I've known loads of middle-aged people that have never stopped acting like a 20-year-old. What this tells us is we all have something to offer. So, raise your hand if you're a baby boomer or if you're Gen X. 3 of us. That's good. Now raise your hand if you're millennial. Oh, we've got a few more. And Gen Z. So Gen Z are very much about seeking authenticity and security. My boys come from Gen Alpha, born from 2010 onwards. They're genuinely the first digital age. They've never known anything that's analog. They're happy to multi-channel communicate, but I think they seek community like never before. And therefore, they want older generations to communicate with. Each generation brings its own unique skills and viewpoints, a rich knowledge base. But it can lead to misunderstanding and friction. The key is communication. So, if you think about it, and we did have some people raise their hand for 3 generations, it's the first time ever that we have on average had 3 generations in the workplace at the same time. That screws with your brain if you think about it. And why? Because we live longer. We're fitter because medical support is more advanced. The cost of living, let's face it, demands that we work for longer and longer. And who would have thought it? I count myself as one of these. I love my job. I don't want to give up just because I hit 60. But marketing messages and our own biases in the workplace limit innovation. We strangle it with hierarchy, with egos and cost efficiency to drive protocol. So, how can we foster inclusion? Here are 4 ideas. They are not exhaustive. They are here for you to think, to take away as thought starters and to build on. Communication is my first one. Establishing lines of open communication can be as simple as encouraging team members to voice their preferences. And this could be at any age, but it helps to bring people together. There's one business within OPMG. On your first day, they ask you to fill out a simple form that is about who am I? How to get the best out of me? So if I filled that in, it would say, I like to be direct. I like people to be direct with me. I'm happy to be challenged, but I need to know I am being heard. I'm a team player. I like action. I like progress over perfection so that we can iterate. I need times of reflection. After this, I'll actually suddenly be really, really exhausted and want to sit in a quiet space. And I like to cook from scratch. Every day I go home with my boys, we cook together. It's interesting to listen to the panel before about women have to spin many plates. They do many things. We take it in our stride. For a first jobber, they may write, I'm neurodiverse. I value my personal space. I wear my headphones because I want to cancel out the noise that makes me less productive. I like to come in and leave the office in less quiet times. I'm not so sure there's never a rush hour in Bangalore now I've been here. I like feedback that has clear, explicit examples. And in meetings, I like to be asked my opinion. I won't necessarily give it. So you're starting to see that there are so many things that make us rich as an individual We need to always look to the other side of the story and step outside of ourselves. Another thing that came up with the panel before, I talk about mentorship and sponsorship as two very different things. Implementing mentorship programs, particularly if you pair a new young person with a seasoned professional, can work wonders. The first time I introduced that in the UK, both the young apprentice and the more seasoned professional thought I'd gone off my rocker and probably needed to leave work. A few months on, they both said what a wonderful idea it had been. Kunle, who had been employed as an apprentice during COVID, didn't understand what work was like, didn't understand what you were supposed to wear, time protocols, how you acted. And Chris, who I'd partnered him with, was like, do I really want to be with someone that's only like 18, 19? What have I got to learn? And yet they both have this really strong relationship now where Kunle can bring innovation and new ideas to Chris, and Chris can be his confidant when he's feeling less secure within a work environment. It's almost like that reverse mentoring as well. And a note I wrote while I was listening to the panel is, ladies, if you go out and find yourself a mentor, one of the panelists was saying not everyone can have one. Interview your mentor. Don't just be given one. Ask to speak to more than one. Find the one you feel you have a connection with. Sponsorship programs. This is where you pair a senior person with a new person that is usually a rising star. A sponsor is about advocating. It's about helping that sponsee build their profile. Well, I don't think I clicked, oh, I did, yeah. I have a sponsee, Nicole, she's amazing. In the last year of our relationship, she's attended conferences in Paris. She's established a Black ERG group for her office. She's been promoted. Not because I'm her sponsor, but because I've held her accountable to her dreams. They're all things she wanted to do, but there was no one saying, so when are you going to do that? Where's your plan to do that? Who are you going to go and speak to? I'm going to introduce you to this person and that person. Next idea, collaborative projects. Create intergenerational projects, allowing employees to collaborate across the business. Rotate the facilitation. Have the newbies facilitate the session. If it's a psychologically safe place, it's amazing what you can have come out from that. In fact, Harvard Business Review and Google have said that diverse teams are 52% more innovative than teams where everybody is a cookie cutter. So next time you hear of a project in your businesses, don't just wait to be asked. Go, hey, hello, I'm over here. I want to join in. Please, I want to engage with this. Let me give you my viewpoint, because that makes you stronger. It builds your profile as someone that's a go-getting, get-involved person, even when you're terrified inside. So my fourth one, flexible work policies. Recognize that different generations have different work-life blended needs. Notice I didn't say balance. I don't really think there is a balance. Again, listening to the panel before, and I was talking to a lady outside where I said, women are usually people that are spinning lots of plates. There's no such thing as balance. Let's just blend it all together in a way that works for us. In the UK, we offer flexible schedules around our working day. We are expecting people to come in 3 days a week, but as long as they do it between 10 and 4, it allows carers of parents to adapt. It allows parents of children to do drop-off and pick-up. It allows our neurodiverse colleagues not to have to be in rush hour. In our Mauritius office, we have a 30-minute decompress time. That's for the mothers that I talked about a little while ago. They've already done a day's job before they've turned up. They've got up, they've made breakfast, they've clothed the children, they've made the lunch, they've probably started dinner, and then they've come into work. In our Mauritius office, they're allowed to sit for 30 minutes, get their mind in place. No one's allowed to go and talk to them. They can just get themselves sorted at their workplace. And for seasoned employees, who can often be the targets of cost cutting, My view is that we should be starting to take people on a journey. Okay, so you'd like to retire. Rather than me cutting you because you cost too much, how about a 3-day working opportunity? You can still pass on your knowledge and it still gives you the respect that you want as an older person exiting the business. Much more respectful. So, the benefits of age diversity. If you haven't already realised it, I'm passionate about this topic. I still feel I have so much to offer for those coming up through the ranks, just as much as I have so much to learn from them. Last week, I did an annual day with a group of 17 to 18-year-olds. They're from the Brit School, a digital design school in London. It offers educations to underrepresented groups. Think about it. I told you at the beginning, I was 60 this year. I was old enough not only to be those young people, I was not only old enough to be their mother, I was old enough to be their grandmother. And I'm standing here and telling them about what they should do in work and how they should live their dreams. I never feel like I could be their grandma. And the feedback I get is, I've been the first person to treat them as an adult. So it's an interesting dynamic. Why do I think that's the case? Well, whether you were 18 in the 80s, the 2000s, or today, your questions are the same. How do I get on? How do I promote myself? How do I build my profile? How do I take my experiences and showcase my ability when I've never worked? Well, the people that can help you is the top end of that multi-generational workforce. No, they may not still feel how you do now, but they did once. Go and ask them. So, I'm asking you, embrace age diversity. It can lead to so many benefits. Don't write off the young because they don't have experience. Once we were all those green young people with untold opportunities. But please don't write off the seasoned because they aren't as adept with tech. You'll be there one day and you'll still feel full of possibility and hope. Remember, when all employees feel included and feel valued, their engagement levels soar and productivity is so much higher and so much richer. So your role in developing this discourse is vital. I'm asking you to empower yourself and others to advocate for inclusive practices within your organisations. Share your ideas. Challenge the status quo. Feel that fear and do it anyway. Be the bridge between those generations. You'll get so much more out of it. Embrace mentorships and sponsorship opportunities. Take on leadership roles. Be a mentor, be a sponsor. Interview that person, make the right connection. Myself and my sponsee have a very rich relationship now. We WhatsApp. She's just gone back to Nigeria for a holiday. I remembered it was her birthday, sent her a message, and she was like, I can't believe you remembered. It's like, just because you're not here doesn't mean that I don't think of you. And elevate your voice. This is the important thing. Elevate your voice in this conversation around age. Because it's only by doing that that we can build on the innovation. In conclusion, a multi-generational workforce is not just a challenge to be managed. It's an opportunity for growth, innovation, and engagement. By fostering inclusion, we can bridge generational gaps, leverage our diverse perspectives for a brighter future. Let us commit to creating workplaces where every generation feels valued, inspired, and empowered to contribute. Just put a little anecdote in here is, I work in London most of the time. We have a London office and we have a satellite office just outside London. I'm blessed by the fact that within our community, we have couples that have met and married and still work with us. At one point, we had one couple plus their daughter working for us. We had a senior developer who at one point had both his sons working for us. He retired last year, and his son has taken over the cloud services team. And we have 3 sisters that work for us. All have about 10 years between each other. And for the first time, because the oldest one's been with us for 35 years, there was a photograph of all 3 of them together. There's a multi-generational workforce in action. Thank you for your time today. I hope, if nothing else, I have got you thinking more curiously about how you can learn from someone that is 10 or 20 years older, or maybe 10 or 20 years younger than you. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh.
Thank you so much for the session. So we would love to give you a present as a token of appreciation from our side. So I call upon Ragasudha to please present it.
Oh, bless.
So once again, put your hands together for this interesting session.
Well, I hope it was interesting.
Yes, it is indeed.
Oh, thank you. Bless you. Good.
We'll have a photo.
Well, we'll be having a photo as well. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
So as we conclude, this was the last session of the day. I hope we had a great time. It was a track of poster and scholarship. We hope you have all been inspired by incredible speakers. A big thank you to all of our speakers, panelists, and finally, all the participants who were there to listen to us. So let's continue the conversation at the networking zone and prepare for another impactful day. Don't forget to share your experiences on social media using hashtag GHCI 2024. So till then, see you all tomorrow. This is Reema Shaji signing off. Thank you.